The Wheel and the Butterfly, written by Justice4243 and read by Sunguard and Moonguard. Chapter 3, Dan vs. Apologies. Pinky bounded around her new, bright surroundings. Oh, what's this? Oh my gosh, what's that? She dashed from place to place, constantly tripping, slipping, all in all getting to know the ground quite well. Dan followed the hyperactive young adult girl with his eyes but said nothing, a grumpy expression plastered on his face.
Let's see.
Chris said, examining the menu.
2 double third-pound cheese meals, crazy-sized, one with fries, the other with onion rings, both with chocolate shakes, and a double bacon cheese stuffed bacon burger, a regular third-pound cheese meal, and 2 apple pies.
Hey, Chris, I thought you were supposed to put down her order as well, Dan said snidely.
It's in there!
Chris insisted. Dan sighed. 1 plain burger, just meat and a bun. If I find cheese on it, your life is forfeit. Also, a medium-sized cherry slushie. The bored-looking cashier rung up everything.
That'll be $32.73.
Chris dug out his wallet and grabbed a few green bills. Pinky ran over, lost her footing for the dozenth time since she entered BurgerFile, and crashed into the counter. She grabbed hold of the countertop and slowly climbed her way up. "What's that?" she asked, pointing at the green bills in Chris's hand, almost losing her grip in the process. "That, my dear statistic waiting to happen, is what we call money. You can use it to exchange for goods and services," Dan answered. Pinky slowly climbed to her feet, using a countertop for balance, stuck her tongue out and put on an annoyed face. "I know how money works. We just don't use paper where I'm from."
Oh, really?
Chris asked.
Where's that? England?
He offered. "They have paper money in Great Britain, you nitwit," Dan said with a mildly irritated tone.
I thought they used pounds.
"They have paper pounds." "A whole pound of paper? Well, that sounds inconvenient," Pinky added. "I swear." Dan turned his palms upward into frustrated claws and furrowed his brow. "It's like you're constantly trying to top yourself with the stupid things you say." Pinky narrowed her eyes, her face framed by her currently wet and matted hair. "Alright, I know I just got here, and Dan probably saved me from certain doom or worse, and I'm sure explaining everything to me can't be that fun, but would it hurt Dan to be just a little less rude to me?"
Are there paper euros?
Chris asked. "I don't know what kind of money they use in Europa," Dan roared. "Do I look like an astrologer?"
Sirs, your order?
The cashier asked.
Oh, right.
Chris looked at the money in his hand.
Shoot, I'm a bit short. Dan, could you?
"No, and how dare you even think of asking? Just take out her food from the order," Dan said as he pointed some at Pinky. "Ketchup packets are enough for her."
Dan, there's no need to pick on her so much.
"Just figure it out, Chris. You're holding up the line." Chris scanned the restaurant. It was empty save the 3 of them and the small amount of staff behind the counter. Meanwhile, Pinky had started digging through her new pink laptop bag, dug out a similarly pink wallet, which she recognized as roughly same in shape as the one Chris was holding. She opened it up, grinned, and pulled out a bill. "Will this help?" Pinky asked optimistically.
Thanks, Pinky, though that's not quite...
"That's a $1 bill, you idiot. Captain Feedbags here is short at least $5. Pinky looked back into her wallet and pulled out another bill. This one had a couple more zeros on it. "Will this work?" she asked inquisitively. Dan and Chris, once again, put on shocked expressions aimed in Pinky's direction.
Ma'am, we can't take any bills over a 50.
"Oh, okie dokie dokie." Pinky shoved the bills back and fetched a $50 bill and handed it to the cashier. The cashier held it up to the light, marked it with a pen, then opened up the register and put the bill inside. Dan put on his best talking-to-a-child voice. "Now the nice man is going to figure out the difference between what you gave him and what we owed him and give..." "I know how change works, you condescending..." "Beep!" Pinky screamed in Dan's face. Chris and Dan's expressions turned surprised. Dan took a couple steps back, his face contorted to one of anger to match Pinky's, and he and Pinky closed the distance with each other, leading with their red, angry faces. Before either could say anything, or worse, throw a punch, Chris put his hands on their shoulders and wedged his much larger body in between the two.
Hey, I have an idea. Pinky, why don't you dry yourself off in the restroom while Dan and I will find a booth for us?
"Okie dokie Loki," Pinky said through gritted teeth. She spun, scanned her surroundings, and located the sign that said restrooms. She grabbed her back and stormed off with body language that showed she was fuming. She tripped once on the way over, shot back up to her feet while maintaining the same rigid, angry walk, and arrived at the restroom doors. She glanced at the symbols as if pondering what they meant, glanced down at her own skirt, smiled, and then pushed her way into the women's restroom. Dan and Chris watched the displays. Pinky entered the restroom, then found a booth to sit in. Chris slid to the end of one side while Dan lounged in his side, occupying the entire seat.
Dan, don't you think you're being just a wee bit too hard on her?
Chris asked with a cocked eyebrow. Me? She started it, Dan insisted.
Dan, you know that's not true.
Dan folded his arms, looked away, and grumbled something incomprehensible.
Maybe,
Chris continued,
you should apologize to her.
I don't see why
She did pay for your meal.
She paid for yours too.
Dan...
Okay. I'll try to be nicer to her, Dan said, glancing away from Chris and holding his palms up in a frustrated manner.
And?
Dan grumbled.
Dan?
I'll apologize, okay? Dan said, shooting daggers in Chris's direction with his eyes as best as he could. Chris sat back, satisfied. What is taking her so long?
Dan, her clothes and her hair were completely drenched. It'll probably take her a while to get right off,
Chris said in a somewhat chastising tone. She probably doesn't even know how to use the hair and hand dryers, Dan grumbled. Chris thought about this for a second and realized Dan was very likely right. He decided to change the subject.
I wonder why our food is taking so long.
Chris, Dan began, mimicking his friend's tone from a few seconds ago. You ordered enough food to feed a third-world nation. It'll probably take what little staff is here a while to make it all. It's what you get for being such slovenly pig all the time. Chris sighed and glanced back up at the restrooms.
It's gonna be a long night.